V fam, welcome back for the eighth Vechain Project Leader Space. I am honored to be here with you all again for another great discussion. If you have not checked out the last one, as always, you got to go tap into Vet Mike's YouTube. Go check it out. All 7 previous spaces are recorded not only on my Twitter, but there for review. Go enjoy it. Go support one of our great V fan members that is constantly pushing educational content out, and let's get ready for an awesome discussion. And before I hand it over to the co hosts, and before we dive into everything, as always, we've got to go through the list of 30 plus teams that are here supporting this spaces for 8 consecutive months. So bear with me while we go through the list. Shout out to the Bomber Squad, Exo Worlds, the Inca Empire, Kickback Koala, New Pigs Order, NFT Paper Project, No Nerds, Non-Fungible Book Club, Mad V Apes, Mino Mobs, Psycho Beasts, Safe Haven, Shamanic Oracles, Shark Gang, Smuzzies, Stoner Punks, UCO Network, Yukio Warriors, V-Fox Alliance, V-Punks, V-Chain Energy, V-Corgi, V-Fam Radio, V-Kings, V-Anonymous, VC, V-Tower, Virtual Flame Studios, War Dogs, World of V, XP Network, and last but not least, the VChain Foundation. Whew! Yeah, every time that's going to be a little bit exhausting. Well, let's hand it over to the co-hosts here. Shout out to Sigtoshi and Ferg, who've been here since the start. How you guys doing today?
Hey, doing good. It's good to be back. Great seeing everybody show up today. Do me a favor, everybody. Let's see, we got about 60 people in here. Let's try and get to 60 retweets. All right. Let's get this space out. Make sure people know we're talking about VChain and people building cool projects and services and tools and everything on VChain. So let's make sure to hit that retweet button. Get in the comment section. If you have questions or want some topics to discuss today, drop them in the comment section. But let's make sure we get some engagement on this Twitter space and get this thing packed out. But it's good to be here and good to see everybody show up. Ferg, how we doing?
What up, what up? Man, it feels like we just did one of these like yesterday. This month has just flown by. But I'm excited. We've got some cool topics and going to talk to a bunch of awesome people. So I'm ready to get her rocking and rolling.
Well, let's hear from some of our other speakers who are joining us up here. I know we're going to have some guests that'll be tapping in a little bit later, but I see Exo Worlds is on stage. Team, you all have been crushing it. Excited to hear some updates. How you guys feeling today?
Hey guys, yeah, very excited for this space. Thanks for having us. It has been an awesome ride developing. Gosh, these last couple months have been awesome. We've been really pushing for our cross-chain, vision of being in multiple communities. So we just actually launched today our Getting Started page. It's an awesome, easy onboarding for Web 2 and Web 3. Anybody right here. At least my phone's working. So anybody kind of doesn't even know Web3, they can come in and basically start participating. They can get wallets made for them through Magic and interact with us. So it's been a huge push on that front. Secondly, we have an awesome on-ramp feature. So users can acquire BNB, BUSD, USDT, ETH for the whitelist and for the token sale. So that's really awesome. It really means that our exposure and the users that we're going to be able to get and the purchasers for the token, that audience is going to be a lot bigger than what it could be before. So we're really proud about that. It's going to be a huge push for mass adoption of Exo Worlds, and we're ready for as much volume as the market can throw at us. So I'm really excited about that. We also partnered up with Carbify. We're basically planting one tree for every 8 planets sold. I know that fits very much in line with a lot of sustainability goals I bet we'll be talking about. So I'm really, really proud about that. The marketing team was able to find an amazing partnership there. They're great people. I think what they're doing is amazing. And yeah, a lot of updates on Unreal Engine 5.2. Don't even get me started, but please do. It's really amazing. The gaming industry is changing forever, and I will dive deep to it when the time gets there. So thanks for having me, guys. I'm really excited.
I've been getting some serious FOMO every single time a new graphic comes out, and I'm like, wait, Do I need to get that gun that just showed up, that weapon that just showed up? It's pretty awesome. The designing that you guys are doing is absolutely incredible. I'm excited to see what the end product continues to look like as you guys refine it. But congratulations on all the success that you guys have been having, and I'm sure we'll dive into some of it today. But let's hand it over to our next speaker, Jordan Sauer. Jordan, how we doing, my man? Rocking the Plague NFT. I like it.
Yeah, sharing the love, trying to get some cross-chain attention as well. I'm doing fantastic. It's nice to see so many people in here.
Always great. These spaces attract a great crowd. We've got a great community here in the VFam and excited to continue growing it. And let's keep it going and hear from the Mino Mob team. Minos, how we doing?
What's up, everybody? I'm very good, thank you. It's great to be here. It's great to see everybody here as well. I'm super excited to hear the space. The agenda for today is awesome, so it's good to be up here.
Always great having you, and I know you're going to help us lead a topic here shortly. So stay tuned. We'll talk about that here in a second. I see we just had Thorpe's Clothing join us here as a speaker. Thorpe's, how we doing today?
Boys, what's up? So I'm just getting ready for work here, hanging out with you, just listening. Thanks for having me up.
Always great to have you. And it looks like we have a new speaker here, Mr. Khan. Mr. Khan, how we doing? Welcome to the stage. And it is okay if the mic has your tongue. No worries. We're going to get a few of those today. You won't be alone. I promise you, Ferg will mess up shortly. So give it a second. And if you want to join us, just feel free to raise your hand, jump in, and say anything you want before we get ready to start the space. But let's hand it over to the foundation that's making all of this happen. Welcome to the stage, 8 Spaces. Can't believe it. It's been a lot of fun. How you feeling?
Hey everybody, yeah, Jake here on the Foundation account. Glad to be back for another round of Vechain Product Leaders. Thank you, Connor, for continuously hosting these awesome spaces, and of course, community that come up. I just want to point out, I think we might have shot over UCO network there, but I'm happy to jump in ahead of that. Pleasure to be amongst you all again, share some updates from the Foundation.
Oh, is it not loading for me? Yo, do I not see you on stage? How we doing? If you can hear us.
Oh, maybe I'm glitching.
You're making me nervous, VFam. See, I told you, Mr. Khan, you're not alone. You're not alone. We're going to have everybody do it. You're safe. We're going to get everybody out here.
Elon's playing with those APIs too.
Yeah, no, he's making a lot of money with those. Gosh. Well, hey, let's get ready to dive into things here, fam, because we have a lot we're going to talk about. And let's start with, talking about what we chatted on last space quickly. Like I said, if you haven't checked it out, go check out Vet Mike's page. He has all of them recorded. But we had an awesome, awesome discussion. And I guess, Sig, do you want to take it over before I, jump into things?
Yeah, I mean, real quick before we get into it, can we get a round of applause for Connor real quick? This guy puts together these spaces every month, creates an agenda, reaches out to all the projects, organizes all of this on his own time because he cares about this ecosystem. So let's get a round of applause real quick for Connor, because he never asks for anything. He just does it because he cares, and that is awesome. We need more of that throughout the ecosystem. So Connor, appreciate everything you do, brother. I know a lot of it goes unnoticed, but just know that it is appreciated. So let's get on with it. Let's do it, man.
Making me smile here while I'm still violently hungover from Memorial Day weekend. I love that. Thank you, Sigtoshi, and thank you, VFam. Like I said, it's always an honor to be doing this, and I don't plan to stop. I plan to keep growing this with all of you. So let's have some fun, and let's get ready to dive into everything here. And so let's talk about what we were chatting on the last space, because we had Braden from the War Dogs join us and chat about their experiences at NFT NYC. And man, did they have success. Not only did they meet some new investors, raise some capital, but they've got some potential partners and new things coming, which was exciting to hear about. So highly recommend going in and tapping into that if you haven't seen it. Also, we had Tricky join us, which was awesome to hear about all the things that he is working on, extending this reach of the VFam outside of our normal channels, exploring the value that YouTube Shorts can bring. What types of educational content is really clicking to bring new faces to the VFam? He's even been able to share some stats with the project leaders, which I'm looking forward to diving into updates more with and hearing how things are trending so that we can start to learn about what might be happening, what's clicking, and what we can use to amplify our messaging. From there, we dove deeper into Vorge. And man, was it a fun discussion, because we had the head of Vorge join us to talk about potential use cases. People have already been using this, what they've been using it for, where we're seeing adoption. And of course, we asked a few questions because it is a pretty complex topic, even though we're taking the blockchain out of blockchain. And lastly, we wrapped up with something we're going to talk a little bit more about today, which is the new tennis partnership, everything going on there, and really what this means for everyone. What kind of use case is being established here with fidget bills that could be setting a precedent for us to replicate in the future. But that's what we talked about on last space. Let's take a moment to talk about this space. For the next 2 hours or so, we're going to chat about one topic or two topics under growing Vechain, the rise of meme coins. And yeah, if you haven't heard, Vechain has meme coins. We're going to have, I think, Data joining us here shortly alongside Ferg to talk a bit about yeet and shit. So stay tuned. Yes, those are real meme coins that are here on Vechain. Then we're going to talk about the value of burning. And we're going to have MVA alongside Minomobs talk about some of the burning events that happened over this last month with their teams and what some other projects that are looking to potentially burn can learn from what they accomplished, learn from maybe mistakes they made that, hopefully another team doesn't replicate, as well as have any other projects who have gone through a burn over the last year join us to share their experiences. From there, we'll really tap in collaboration with the foundation, talk about some in-person events with Satoshi, chatting about Rare Evo that we teased a little bit earlier this year, and then moving on to, like I said, the tennis and phygital updates. But before I toss it over and jump into things with Ferg, can we make sure we get some people out here throwing retweets and likes on this space? Let's get some VFam in the comments. If you do have a question, please ask it. We will try and get to all of them at the end, but let's have a lot of fun here. I already see we've got Shitcoin up as a speaker. So Ferg, take it away and let's get started.
Let's do it. We got Data up here from Shitcoin. Data, how are you today?
Doing well. How are y'all?
We're good, man. We're good. We're posted up like a mailbox. So what we want to get into today is just kind of like meme coins. Like what is a meme coin? What do they do? What's the purpose of a meme coin? Things like that. So if you want to start off by kind of introducing us to Shitcoin and kind of your thought behind Shitcoin.
Yeah. So initially with Shitcoin, it was a joke that I did on Vorge when Vorge first launched. I think it was that same day. Made some tweets about how Shitcoin season was here because, if you look at BSC or ETH or all these other places that have that where they use like Third Web or they have some other mechanism where people can easily release coins into the market, then you just get a bunch of shitcoin. They don't really have a purpose, or the purpose is just for the memes and for the culture, for people to have something to talk about, rally around. And that's really all that there is to it. So I think it was probably the 9th or 10th coin on Vorge, and I named it Shitcoin, SHT, and minted 2 billion of them just for the culture of being able to do it, because why not? That's what Vorge is for, in loose terms. So after about a month or two, I saw somebody put up the Sunny token, and they put it all on exchange, and the more meme coins that kind of popped out and done well. So I figured, why not? Let's just put all of the mint and all the supply in V exchange and let it go, see what happens. I think I put like 5,000 VET worth of liquidity into the token because I didn't think anybody was going to go in and actually buy it, maybe buy like 100 VET or 200 VET, whatever. Well, like 200,000 VET later, it had like 500x or whatever. So then I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll need to kind of do some stuff with it. But the whole point of it was I put 100% of the supply into LP. So there's no way anybody has free tokens. There's no way that, the only way to get the token is to go buy it, which sets up, your minimum level of value. Then it just becomes whatever you bought it at. If more people buy after you, then you're in profit. If more people sold after you bought, then you're not in profit. It's pretty much what all economics is anyway, any type of collectible. So when I did that, I also renounced the contract. And the goal for anybody that plays around in these meme coins is you want to make sure that you're not going to get stuck in a honeypot where you can't sell it. And you want to make sure that nobody can change the contract, which is one of the good things with Vorge is you really don't have that many available options to go through and mess with the contract because you're using those VeChain contracts, which are already audited, certified. You're a lot less likely to get stuck in some weird honeypot situation. So I renounced ownership of the contract so that I couldn't then go mint 2 billion more and then just cash out on everybody. And now we're where we're at. That's pretty much what shitcoin is. So it's been a lot of fun with shitcoin here, shitcoin there. Everywhere's got a shitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of people posting about it, and it's all over Discords and all kinds of stuff. Tell me how your experience was on Forge creating this. Like, how long did it take you? Was it super easy? Do you think like just anyone could do it? Not saying anyone should do it, but how was your experience?
Yeah, it was easy. So the good thing with Vorge, and I've talked with some of the people in the VeChain Discord as well that are working on it, is you can make the token easy. The problem is now, what do you do with it? How do you take that second step? It's like I think the analogy, the way I compared it was, you bought the car, but now you don't know how to drive. And so what we need now are second layer contracts, which are just as easy to use as Forge, where you can then drive. You can do things with your token. You can build staking mechanisms. You can build tracking mechanisms if you're using tokens for tracking. You can do mints that are public. You can do airdrops. You can do those things. And so there are a lot of websites out there. Third Web is a great one, which is able to connect in with a lot of EVM chains. But you need an RPC API, which is what VeChain is disconnecting there with. They have a lot of those, and if we can build out that layer, or if we can, work with another third-party company that already has that infrastructure set up, we will be able to then also use those things which have been audited and sifted through.
So I can't figure out this damn mute button. Thanks a lot, Connor. You jinxed me. So all right. So tell me about are there benefits to meme coins for an ecosystem, and if so, what are they? Or is it just purely just trying to, like you said, 500x, 100x, whatever, and get the fuck out? Or is there an actual, solid use case for meme coins in an ecosystem?
But yeah, I mean, absolutely. I know a lot of people don't like it. I mean, it's not much more than a bubble or Ponzi scheme or whatever you want to call it, because it's like Beanie Babies. It's only worth as much as the next person feels like they want to buy or sell it. But honestly, almost all economic principles are built on that theory. You wouldn't go buy a car that had zero resale value. You want to still be able to sell that car for more than what you paid, or for close to what you still owe on it. You wouldn't buy something that is got 10% of the resale value available. So where you get, if you look at Cardano, for example, they had a huge boom with their meme coin Snek. They've built hundreds of thousands of wallets. They're, top 100 token out. Like, they're getting more connection, more people using their tools, more people using their chain from that meme coin than probably any of their more technical developments that they've had, where they decentralize some new part of the chain. And so use Cardano if you have a bicycle and a lighter and a cigarette or whatever. Like, they're getting more value off of that one meme coin to people coming in and learning about the chain, learning about what's going on. The same with Pepe and ETH. You wake up a lot of capital, you wake up a lot of headlines, you get in the news, you get people talking about you. And so that's where the value and benefit of it is. You go and talk to your friends because you just got it, and then your friend makes a wallet.
And I know you've been a big proponent of Yeet for quite a while. And then obviously now you have your own coin here that you've created. Would you encourage other people in the ecosystem, as long as they kind of, in air quotes, know what they're doing, to pump out more meme coins? Or do you think maybe that's not the best idea for the VeChain ecosystem?
I mean, if they want to do it, go for it. It's a gamble always. If they want to make a project, it just makes it a little easier. Yeet was always fun to play with. It was set up in a similar way, but the problem with Yeet is, instead of all of Yeet being put in liquidity, all of Yeet was airdropped. And so it makes it very difficult to bring it back and provide value with it. Whereas if you do it in this way, you're able to kind of initially start off with a value, and then whoever releases it needs to burn the liquidity so that they can't back out and get it. Because if you can go and pull the liquidity after you drop the token, then rug pull everybody, nobody can cash out, and you just take all their bet. So needs to know that the only way people are going to be interested in it is if you do the things everybody else is doing. If you build a team, if you build a Discord, if you build a Twitter, pick one or do more. But then you also have to say, okay, here's 10, 20, 30,000 bet. I'm going to put it in liquidity and I'm going to burn it. So now I have the incentive to say, okay, hopefully this works, because if not, I just wasted 10,000 bet. So that's kind of my thought. If you want to do it, go for it. Same as anything else. Vorge makes it a little easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Vorge is definitely an awesome tool if you're looking to create a meme coin. So the last question I have for you here, and then I'll open it up for Sig or Connor or anyone else on the stage. You mentioned Snek and Cardano and all that. I'm not sure how much you have dabbled around over there, but on MinSwap, especially over on Cardano, it is super easy to go find your favorite meme coins and buy into those and provide liquidity. You can farm a lot of those and stake your liquidity tokens. Over here on Vechain, we do have that. It's not as easy. Would you have any kind of insight, or not insight, but opinions on our dexes over here? On, I think it's VRocket and Vechain, unless I'm missing one. But as far as buying those meme coins, I've got your contract posted at the top. They don't just always kind of populate in there, so you have to take that address and put that address into VRocket or Vechain, and go find it through there. It doesn't just auto populate. So that's kind of a not the biggest pain in the ass, but I think it's a little bit pain in the ass when you've come over and done everything on the Cardano side. Do you have any opinion on that as far as our dexes go?
Yeah. So the exchange, they're focused on switching over to Reservoir Finance, and so they haven't done as many updates to their site as they could. So they definitely have some glitches and some difficulties, which are carried over from Uniswap. They just haven't been merged from Uniswap updates. So hopefully when the exchange, I think that they're going to be getting their new updates in the next couple weeks or months. They have not announced how inclusive it will or will not be with VeChain. They have just said, it'll be multi-chain, whatever. So I don't know if they're going to leave VeChain completely. I don't know if they're going to stay VeChain completely. That would just be on that team. VRocket is a good alternative. Their UI is a little more updated. It is a lot more dynamic and easier to use, I think, just in my general opinion. The problem is they do not have the liquidity that the exchange does. So if you make a transfer, if you make a trade, you're more likely to get hit with price impact as compared to the exchange. You can't import new tokens into their UI to provide liquidity. So actually, one of the things, because of that issue, and hopefully we'll have more meme coins and things coming out. I've actually got majority of it coded, I think, to create a shit exchange. So you have shit coins you can exchange, and it will tag directly into VExchange and VRocket's liquidity. So you'll be able to toggle back and forth between the two, depending on which one you want to use. And you'll be able to a little more easy kind of pick out the tokens that you want to trade with and go back and forth, because I know some people have had issues with liquidity pools on the exchange, not being able to see them, or you can't add it, or you add it and then you can't remove it, you can't see it, it takes a while to load. So we'll be doing that. That'll be one of the upcoming shit activities.
Yeah, and the reason I asked is because for a dummy like me, I wanted to just kind of mess around and see what it was like to provide some liquidity and then stake my LP token. So I'm doing that with Snek right now. And on MinSwap, I mean, you can do that in 5 seconds, and you can see everything. You can see where you're harvesting, and it's super easy. We just don't have that ease of use over here yet, and so I just kind of wanted your opinion on that. But I know we've been talking your ear off here. Sig, Connor, anyone up here, if you have anything you'd like to talk to Data about, or just bring up anything you'd like about meme coins, feel free to jump in.
Not on the meme coins per se, but I know that, just to add on there with Vorge, I know the team are kind of some kind of direct DEX and NFT marketplace integration. So, there will be a point in time, I don't know exact timelines right now, but, where you'll be able to kind of mint and integrate immediately with marketplaces or DEXs and whatnot. That should be a bit more of a seamless experience there through the Forge platform, just as a little add-on to that conversation.
That is epic. That's really cool. We just got some juice, ladies and gentlemen. We just got some juice. All right, awesome. Well, unless Connor or Sig want to.
Yeah, I got
Connor.
one. I got one thing. I'm just curious from Data's perspective because I know just from my personal experience, I'm seeing a lot of new people coming to me again, like retail, that are asking, "Hey, why? What is Pepe? What is this thing? Why are people making money?" And I'm curious. Assuming new wallets are probably getting created in other ecosystems, but what are we seeing here in VeChain? Have you seen any new wallets potentially get created or have any visibility in that of any, I guess, correlation to shit as creating some new kind of faces here in the VFam? Just because I feel like it's happening again. Like the retail wave was with ICOs and altcoins back in the day, with NFTs, and now with potentially meme coins. So I'm curious, any thoughts?
I don't know about VeChain necessarily. I mean, I agree with the ETH and even the Cardano. The difficulty with VeChain is we just, like Jake said, we just don't have a lot of those tools available yet. Like Ferg was talking about MinSwap and how easy it is to farm or to provide liquidity, to farm, harvest, all those things. And a lot of those are built on either staking contracts, which Vechain did for a while, where you can farm LP tokens, which we don't have any current LP farming that's occurring right now on VeChain. And then, or coming from a Uniswap v3, which is on ETH and other chains where you can provide liquidity and then you collect fees separately because you have a lot more DeFi contracts that are out there and available. So we're just kind of limited. And so that's where the difficulty comes into play. So between the limitations of not as much DeFi available and then being limited in wallet use, which is another thing, which is another reason why Cardano is probably also getting hit with not as much new users as ETH did with Pepe. You can't just easily jump into Cardano with a MetaMask the same way that you can't with VeChain. You've got to go get a Flint wallet or a different wallet. Being able to, the whole goal in my mind with meme coins, if you want to be able to kind of get new people, is just making it seamless. It's being able to be at the same table to where they can do it in the same wallet, they can do it on the same web page, they can use the same resources as much as possible. And then if they can't, being able to have those quick and easy things like Jake was saying, where you can go to Vorge and you can do it all from there. Or you have some other DEX or company that's building on VeChain where you can do everything in one spot. That's kind of the goal.
So before I toss it to VeChain, my quick follow-up is that shit exchange. Are you gonna try and do it? Just curious. I mean, it's a need. Or are we just going to leave that up to the audience to potentially guess? Hey, just throwing it out there. It's a need. And the last thing I'll say before tossing it to VeChain, if you guys don't know Data, this man has built so much shit in this ecosystem. It's absolutely ridiculous. He is one of the core contributors here. If you are not following shit, if you are not following him, highly recommend changing that. Extremely educational content that he posts. I'm always learning every time he's posting something, and I'm excited to see what you start doing with ordinals, whatever the hell is about to happen there. But bring all that shit back to VeChain and back to shit. Anything you want to add to that before I talk to the foundation?
Yeah, so still figuring out what all exactly. I've got some ideas for shit exchange that we'll see. I don't know if it should be shit exchange or shitty exchange. Anyways, also to promote somebody else that's going to be helping a little bit in the next, we don't have an exact time, but there is going to be an NFT launch for shitcoin. It's you're not going to use shit for it, but we haven't even figured out exactly how much of the allocation is going to go towards what, but at least 50%, if not more, of the vet, and it'll be a super cheap mint, it'll just be for fun, is going to go to providing LP and for shitcoin and locking it, just so it's easier and less price impact to trade. So all the art is done, the website is done. I finished up the smart contract, and we're testing it out now. It will be in collaboration with Smuzzies and the team with Smuzzies and 3Dables. So they'll be hosting it, and it's going to be fun. So we'll have more updates when we can.
All right, Vechain, you can take over. I have to buy more shit right now. So I'm going to put myself on mute and take it over.
That's a great name. Yeah, I just wanted to again lend to the discussion because, of course, as you rightly point out, Vechain hasn't had the most kind of prolific DeFi environment, but that is again something being worked on, and with the kind of staking, yield farming mechanics, I can say there's a kind of this holistic platform kind of onboarding right now. All there'll be kind of cross-chain, but also all the tokenomics and the core stuff's going to be on VeChain. So trying to integrate more with the cross-chain DeFi environment, but with a home on VeChain. So just again a little snippet for you guys of what's being worked on and trying to cater for the kind of more dev environment, but also hobby dev environment, right? Because the ethos of meme coins is that anyone can come and have a play, build, and as our speaker prior was just talking about, spin up whatever you want, whatever it's called, and it's about the culture and it's about just playing with Web3. So about creating that environment, because VeChain as the foundation wants to put those platforms in place as well that can offer the kind of full experience. Yeah, that's definitely something that's happening and is en route. So watch this space on that. But that easy integration to these kind of mechanics that's being discussed, it is in the works and it will be coming. So yeah, again, just wanted to lend to that discussion.
And before we move it along, make sure everyone in here go follow the Shitcoin account up here and throw it some likes, throw it some retweets. Let's spread the love and let's get some eyes on the VeChain ecosystem.
Well, let's hand it back to Shitcoin. I'm going to have to get used to that. Feel like I am, but it's going to take a bit. Let's hand it back to Shitcoin unless anybody has any final questions to kind of wrap up our first agenda item here with the rise of meme coins and shit and yeet. Data, any final closing thoughts?
No. If you buy shit, you're likely going to lose all your money. So I don't recommend it. It's not financial advice to get it. But if you do own some, you will likely have a cheaper mint of piles of poop inside toilets done by Smuzzies. So for the culture.
And who doesn't want that? Well, thank you, Shitcoin. Thank you, Data. Always love having you join us for a fun discussion, man. And looking forward to seeing shit exchange, whatever you come up with, man. Sounds like this project is evolving fast. Well, hey, before we get ready to go to our next topic here, we're going to have Mad V Apes join us. So anybody from the Mad V Apes team, come up and join us, as well as Mino Mobs, to dive into some things about burning. So any other projects as well, you guys are welcome to join us to talk about this topic. If you've gone through a burn event, we're going to try and dive into why this is important. The value of burning. What does this even mean? Why are you doing this in the first place? And what's taking time when teams are kind of executing this? What resources are needed? And what are some of the results that some teams have already experienced? So I'm excited. We're going to hear from Sigtoshi, one of our co-hosts here, ream him a little bit, as well as Mino Mobs. And I guess let's start with Mino Mobs. Obviously your team executed a burn here this last month. Tell us about it. Why did your team even execute this burn in the first place?
Sure thing. Thanks for the opportunity to come up here and speak, Connor, firstly. And no pressure leading just before MVA. Slight side note, been following MVA since the start. They were my first VeChain NFT in terms of Z. So, big stuff. It's great to share the stage with you guys over there. Essentially, our mutant burn was kind of planned from the get-go, really. Before we even minted last year, the concept of mutation and this idea that the NFTs that you're going to get when you mint, will be able to be mutated was kind of the whole plan. We wanted to do it to kind of bring this whole mutant idea to VeChain. Obviously, the kind of Bored Apes was the first kind of guys to do it, and we wanted to do our own little spin on it. As well as that, we kind of just wanted to give a bit of, a different kind of value to the holders. Now, how this mutant burn takes place is essentially you burn an original Mino and an elixir, get your mutant. So this reduces the collection size of both the original Mino collection and the elixirs. So there's a bit of scarcity, there's a bit of vacation, but really we wanted to just kind of have a fun event for our holders down the line, which also kind of plays with the collection size, plays with some rarities and things like that.
And if I'm not wrong, that went pretty fast. Your community had a lot of fun with that. Can you tell us about that before tossing it over to MBA?
Yeah, definitely. And it's something that kind of conveniently enough, we're actually announcing our next mutant date right now, live in the space, a little bit of Vechain Project Leaders Space Alpha. So if that's okay, I'm quickly going to
Drop the
launch up a
alpha.
tweet
Let's
and pin up
go.
pin up pin up that alpha at the top, and just check out the clothing item that this little Mino is wearing as well. It's a little update and an upgrade of the Vechain hoodie. I think it looks awesome. But yeah, slight side note, we're going to be launching the next batch of 250 mutants June 19th. So this is coming next month. Like you mentioned, Connor, thanks for that little mention and hint there. We actually sold out the first, or burnt out the first 250 in 36 minutes. So it went super quick. There were, it was amazing to see it go that fast. And, hopefully the same goes again. But this is the warning. We're going to try and, get it in front of people as much as possible. That the next day is June the 19th. Have your VC ready, get ready, because, they went in 36 minutes last time. A lot of people kind of missed out. So just be aware.
We're getting some alpha on the project leaders space. I love it, team. Nice work and congratulations. I'm looking forward to seeing this next one because I know I missed the 36-minute window. It sucks. I had a meeting, and that's all it takes. So, yeah, you got to be quick on this. Maybe call your buddy. Let him know if you really trust him. Get their hands on that mint. I know I had a bunch of people calling me, when we had mints going on, especially here, in the VFAM, and one of which that recently happened in a burn, of course, was MVA as well. And so, Tig, I'd love to toss it over to you. Why did you all go through your burn? What was it? And tell us about it.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I am part of the Mad V Apes team. I'm rocking this Sappy Seal PFP because I'm forced into it now. It's part of my identity in Web3, unfortunately, but I digress. So for Mad V Apes, Nero, this kind of goes back a little bit, actually. Nero, the founder, his first collection on VeChain was a small project called V Legends, and it was pixelated soccer or football players. I think there was 11 of them total, right? And so those people, they became the first supporters of Mad V Apes. So they have a special channel within our Discord. They're still involved in the product. So they are day zero MBA supporters. So Nero made every V Legend holder a special Mad V Ape alpha that represented that soccer player, that football player, right? That person holds. So 11 of these soccer apes were created. And then during the V Bounce event, one of our prizes that we donated to that event was a tennis alpha. And then we created this alpha it was like for marketing, promotion stuff, but it was a really cool looking alpha. So we had these like different alphas with new traits, new attributes and stuff hanging out there. There were like 15 of them or something. So we kind of got to thinking like, hey, we should revamp the alpha art. We should come up with all new traits as to not dilute existing rare traits that people have already spent a lot of vet on. But we don't want to do a new mint, right? We don't want to just continue adding to our supply. In fact, we wanted to go the other direction. So we came up with this plan to burn one from each collection in order to get this new elite. So you had to burn one alpha, one fusion, one elemental, and one phoenix. And in return, you got one elite. So it's basically a 4-for-1, which was tough to do because they all have value above mint price, and like people just have a hard time burning their NFTs, and you're asking them to burn 4 NFTs to get one in return. So we kind of we're trying to figure out, okay, what is going to be the supply of the elite collection? How many can we expect? How many people can we expect to actually burn 4-for-1? How can we incentivize people to burn 4 NFTs for one? So we have MVA token that's coming out soon. Win token. I get it. It's coming soon. I promise. So what we decided to do was make it that the elite would generate as much MVA token from staking as all four of those NFTs that you burned combined, plus a little bit top. So really incentivizing people to go ahead and understand that they're going to generate as much MVA as they would by holding those four, just by holding the one now. On top of that, it's only a supply of 555, so it's a very low supply collection, making them all very rare and unique. And I think we have, last time I checked, there was like 185 unique holders of elites, putting the wallet distribution at a 33%. So it was a great turnout. We didn't want somebody to hold a big supply of elites. We wanted them to be very rare and no one controlling the floor, really. Even down to the collection itself. We created different attributes for different skin types so that every NFT went well together. There weren't any clashing traits. They all just flowed, and it kind of makes them all really unique. So how we did it, we were initially going to do it all through smart contract. Basically, you select your NFTs, you send them, and you get the elite back in return. That was really difficult with four different collections and getting another new collection in return. So what we did was like through a claiming process with tickets in the Discord. So basically you open a ticket, you tell us which ID numbers of the NFTs you wanted to burn. We get you down and then send it to our burn wallet and we'll send you a elite burn ticket. So there's still some elite burn tickets on the market. I think they're like around 20,000 vet each, but I have only like 13 left. So we're winding down to the end of the event here. But it was fun because we had this little period of time where people were buying and selling just the tickets pre-reveal. But then as the time for the reveal came, I mean, they were just flying off the shelves and people were, showing them all over Twitter and Discord and people getting FOMO and buying tickets off the market. So yeah, it was a cool event. And for us, again, it was just giving the community something, some new art to be proud of, own something that's unique in a small collection. It was mainly big supporters of our project that wanted to do this, but also just reducing the overall supply of our project, the entire MVA project. So I think we burned about 6 million vet worth of NFTs, reduced our overall supply by 1,500 NFTs. So it was all in all a really cool event. It was fun, and now MVA token coming soon. Let's get it.
That's awesome, man. I mean, congratulations. I know it's been, obviously I'm close to the project as well. It's been fun to, follow. But it sounds like you and Minos kind of went through some similar things. Minos with their Elixir and, their first kind of, Mino, and then finally getting the mutants, putting that together. You guys had four collections getting that. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of moving parts here. And I'm assuming that took a shit ton of time and a lot of team resources while you guys are still building a project. So I'd love to hear from both of you and, toss it to Minos here. What was your experience going through this? Like, what was taking all of that time? What, was really causing your team hiccups or struggles as you guys were going through organizing this, executing it, and wrapping everything up? Minos, anything you can share?
Yeah, definitely. I think for me personally, the whole mutant thing was a big learning curve. I'd say I wouldn't say it was a struggle, but ultimately to kind of have art which is 3D and as in detail as our amazing artist Paolo's been doing, it takes a lot of time. Every single one of these mutant traits he kind of built individually himself. When you zoom in, you see all sorts of details and things, and that just took a lot of time. And I'd say that was probably the biggest strain on the team, and obviously everyone that's invested in an NFT project, they kind of want it when, like the MVA token, it's when's it next? And, we were very fortunate with our community that they were, and hope they feel kind of satisfied with what it got in the end. But, really the biggest pain point, I guess, was, yeah, the art and the creation of that. But ultimately, I really do think it was worth it in the end. I wouldn't change anything about it at all, because right now the Mino team is beyond happy with every single mutant that people are getting, every trait. Kind of, there's even some certain things that we think look better in this new mutant collection. So yeah, it really worked out great in the end. And I think, although it was a slight pain point, it was really worth it in the end. And now we get to the point that people are, actually minting and using these mutants, seeing them, this month, being able to stake them over at VC, it's great, for a project leader to kind of finally see the fruits of all the labor, all the behind the scene hours I've been putting in. It's awesome. It's great to be up here talking about it as well.
Well, and I think that's, half the thing too with some of these burn events and creating these really unique kind of niche collections is giving people a new opportunity to set their virtual identity. Because that's what half of these people are doing here is finding something that they relate to and go, that is awesome. And that's how I want people to view me when they click my PFP. Whether you get a custom designed one like me, where I've been kind of rotating through one-to-one artists, and I'll set up another one here shortly to create some one-to-one art, or you go and scroll through the chat right now and scroll through all of our listeners and see a bunch of elites and a bunch of Mino mobs, mutants. It's awesome. People found their identity with it, and you're giving them another opportunity to do it. You're spending a lot of time focused on really cool trades to make that happen. MVA, Leo, was that kind of what you guys experienced as well? Because you guys took a lot of time on those elites and definitely came out with some cool art and some new characteristics too.
Yeah, Z, I can relate, dude. I think the art was the part that took the longest for us. Again, because we just wanted to make sure it was going to be worth it and that people really liked what they were getting in return for burning 4 NFTs, right? So Nero really took his time with it. The new attributes, new skin types, like everything was new. It was just revamping the alpha style art. But aside from that, I think planning it took a long time too. How are we going to pull this off? Talking through it with the team and the mods and different things like that, as far as like what the process would be to burn, to claim, all that stuff. I also have to give a shout out to the V for helping us out with the smart contracts of the burn and everything like that. I mean, just amazing resource to have, and just so approachable. It's great stuff. As far as the burn day, the claiming day itself, I have to give a shout out to Shamrock. That dude was creating spreadsheets. He was a spreadsheet jockey that day, left and right, just keeping track of what everyone sent, who sent what, how many they get, all that stuff. So Shamrock, Olafin, Nero, those guys crushed it. So I mean, it was a long process. It's crazy how fast it goes. It's like at a snap of a finger, it's over after all that planning and stuff. But that's cool. It's fun. And now people get to enjoy it. So that's what it's all about.
I love that. And I know Wild Bill was coming up here with a question. So Wild Bill, please request if you want to join us up here. And, let's toss it back to, I guess, Minos here and Satoshi, because I know you guys, sounds like, lived very similar experiences going through this. And it sounds like other projects are probably going to follow suit as we continue to grow. What advice would you give for another project that's going through a burn event, planning to do it before they even get started, or if they're in the process now, to not make some of the mistakes that maybe your team's made, or to avoid some of the things that you guys couldn't figure out for a little while? And I'll toss it over to Minos first. Any advice that you have for project leaders or anyone looking to go through a burn event of some kind?
100%, 100%. I started with something that, on our weekly team calls, I'd kind of reiterate to the team members, make sure everybody knows, and that's you cannot rush greatness. And it's just kind of filling that kind of idea that if you really want to get or create a kind of experience or burn event, there's really no need to rush it. Take your time, like Sig mentioned, planning it out methodically, making sure everything kind of works. And also, I think the main thing is make it unique, make it stand out. The elite burn event, it's like something I've never seen before. The mutants kind of have 2 different elixirs, or actually 3 different rarities, so there's all sorts of complexity to it. The portal dogs, for example, the portal passes are different, kind of stand out, make it unique, make it different, and make it fun for the holders as well, because ultimately we're all here, we're all degens at the little part of it, and this burn event kind of ticks that degen box that we all have. So make it a gamble, make it a bit fun as well. But yeah, really, I guess the main point, don't rush. And yeah, that's it really.
And yes, we are all degens in the end, because we have a damn ecosystem coin called shit and people are buying it, and it's about to turn into a larger project. So yes, don't get me started on that, but let's keep it going. Satoshi, what are some thoughts right there on what Minos have said? Anything that you experience the same, and recommendations for projects?
Yeah, I mean, I like what he said about make it unique, fit it to your project, bring something new, or just put your own twist on something that has happened. Just make it your own. Have some fun with it. My advice would be is try and provide some incentive, so that people actually go through with it. Whether it be just cool new art, people want to swap for new art, that's fine. Whether it's an added bonus utility or something, whether it's just a hype event. I mean, bring something that's going to incentivize people to actually go through with it, and get their view out the other side. That's the big thing, right? You don't want to have a burn event where they lose value getting out the other side. You want to try and keep it the same, or increase value, and so incentivizing people that way will definitely help out.
I love it. I mean, thank you guys for answering some of my questions here and letting me hog you. But it sounds like Wild Bill has a question, and then Exo Worlds. So we'll hand it over to Wild Bill, and if anyone in the audience has a question, feel free to raise your hand, come up and speak, or comment in the little tweet thread below, and we'll answer. Wild Bill, anything to add?
Oh yeah, no, I just wanted to stop in and say hi and say hi to the whole family here. And I agree with a lot of what and Satoshi are saying. As a content creator, I feel like I want to push myself constantly to do the best I can do. And as an artist, I really want to just provide really cool art for the community. And so yeah, I think the biggest roadblock or like speed bump that comes in a project is the content creation, but also like the back end. I think a lot of time we forget about the back end and how much work goes in with the teams that are involved, the devs and all that. And I want to just put my love out there for the guys that we don't talk about. Like we talk a lot about the art and the front end of everything, but we don't talk about the gems that are sitting in the shadows that work hard and don't get the recognition too. So I want to thank my dev who came in and helped us. He's basically done a miracle for us and getting our bill back up, getting our bill, and it's been a long road. I've been working on those bills for 3 years now, and it's just really neat to see them out and people appreciating them. But I wouldn't have been able to do that without Sky. And I want to give a big thumbs up to Sky V for helping us with our project. He came in and we agreed to a set payment, and because he believed in me and Polly, he dropped his rate considerably. And I just want to let the community know that that Sky came in and really did us a huge favor, more than what we asked. And that's just brilliant. Like, for a community member to take up knowledge and then pass it along. And, not only did he come in and do the work we asked, he actually taught me. He said, well, why can't you do this part? And why can't you do that part? Why don't you save your project a bit of funds this way? So he taught me how to do the generation part, and the ranking and the rarity and all that. So, he took coin out of his own pocket to help us, to help me. So yeah, these are some of the things that the community members may not see, but we as project leads and artists and everybody, we really appreciate you guys. We really do. It's a godsend when somebody comes in and helps. And not only that, there's a huge trust issue. So like sometimes things can stagnate out simply just don't have the devs. And we don't have the back end workers to get where we want to be, and so we have to pause to be able to accommodate that, right? So yeah, I just wanted to shout out to the
Damn right.
guys in the shadow.
Damn right. I mean, Wild Bill, I love that shit. Because I think it goes back to what you just heard from even Satoshi talking about it. Like, they had to lean on a marketplace because they needed more resources and support, more devs behind the scenes to go make this shit happen and make the awesome content that, these teams were creating come to life on the blockchain. And, sometimes they don't get the shouts. I mean, that's why, again, going back to the person we just heard earlier on this space, people like Data are doing the things that are allowing us to go and have so much fun in this ecosystem. I was talking about it earlier on a space, but it's kind of like a jungle gym and a playground. We can have all of this cool playground equipment that represent these different projects or ways that we can go and interact with VeChain. But if it isn't fun and we aren't there, nobody's going to show up to the damn playground. And we need to make sure that we're supporting these people that are putting together these awesome jungle gym equipments, Exo Worlds, bringing in all this cool shit that's representing the swing set that all of us grew up, or whatever it is. That's what we need to be supporting here and working together to grow, but also be critical of. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, there was a lot of playground equipment on my playground that I was like, I never am going to climb that shit. That sucks. So go tell them. Let's give them feedback. Let's grow together. But I think that was just an awesome point. So shout out to Wild Bill. Got to represent the devs. And I know Exo Worlds, your hand has been up, and then Satoshi. I'll toss it over to you, Exo Worlds, and then Satoshi. You next.
Yeah, I think that was great. The back end guys, they are unsung heroes. They save the day and they build everything and toil on so much that the public doesn't see. So I think, Wild Bill, you're so right. And it's awesome to have awesome, it's really great to have trust between developer and management. I think it's rare to find that much goodwill. So really awesome on that, Dev, and congrats there. I raised my hand just because we're planning to do a token mint and a token sale in Q3 for EXO, and we're planning to burn whatever is unsold in terms of the token sale. I wanted to ask, what other strategies for token burning? This is obviously utility token, but what strategies for token burning on that front you guys think are useful, are interesting, and kind of want to put it out there for any other projects here that might be considering a utility token burn as well?
I mean, we did get a little teaser of the MVA token. Anything you're going to share, Sig? And then we'll toss it over to Wild Bill.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get back to why my hand was up, but I'll answer Exo World's question. So yeah, I mean, I think deflationary is always the way to go to just kind of help it along, hold its value, right? Also just making sure that there's use cases in place for that token so that people aren't just getting it and looking to swap for vet, right? You want to make sure that there's solid use cases and multiple use cases if possible, but having it deflationary one way or another, where there's burn events or constant burn, I think are a good way to kind of just help keep that support there. Our token, just from how we kind of drew it up, it's a slow drip. So you're going to be able to go to the DEX and swap vet and get MBA token. I think we're starting with 1 million vet in our liquidity pool and 500,000 MBA token. So it's going to be like a 2-for-1 to start. So yes, you're going to be able to go and buy MBA token, but the majority of people are going to get it through staking, through a slow drip. They're going to get their daily allotment based on what apes they hold. Different collections have different generation rates, different attributes have different generation rates. So they're going to slowly accumulate, but we're also going to have activities, especially through Ape World, that are going to have a constant burn of MVA token. So I believe like 1% burn for every transaction that happens on Ape World, because Ape World is now going to be fully integrated with MVA token. So all those locations, all those tools, all those resources are going to take MVA token to use. The trade tool, the pawn shop, the fight bot, all of that is going to be played and used MBA token, and every transaction is going to burn 1%, of the MBA token. So having that slowly reduce, slow burn, constant burn, keeps the value up, keep it deflationary, baby.
And one thing to add on that, just from what Minos was bringing up, is it doesn't even need to be your own token. VC is the token that MVA was using, or that Mino was using to execute their burn event. They were using another marketplace, again, like World of E supported MVA, to support this initiative, make it happen, and take a little bit of weight off of them and use something that's already here. And then, like you just brought up, Exo Worlds, that shit was burned. And so, Mino, anything that you have to add on to that? Just because, again, sounds like everybody's going through the same thing.
Yeah, big shout out to the VC team and the guys over there. It was something we kind of agreed on from the get-go. When I had early conversations before Mino was minted with Bread, he kind of said, look, we have the kind of builder, let us take the slack, help out with the smart contract stuff. Myself, I'm not a dev. I wouldn't even know where to start. So having that kind of there just takes a lot of stress off my back. Obviously, with what VC do, I know that I'm going to get what I want out of it. It was a double-edged sword of benefits. So it was great, really, and a big shout out to them. And it also gives us a way to give back to our holders as well, because the VC generated from our burn events then gets burnt into the monthly VC ranking thing, for then our holders to stake their mutants or their OGs and get some money back. So it's all a big cycle. It was all kind of working to plan, and that's kind of why we're doing these batches every month.
I love that. And Satoshi, anything quick you want to add on before tossing it over to Wild Bill?
So I was gonna, first of all, I hope we answered your question. Is it Lucas or William? Who's behind the account?
Oh, it's Lucas.
Lucas, my man. I hope we answered your question, but
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I did want to go back to Connor, to advice for projects that are kind of, thinking of ideas, or we go through a burn event or some sort of event. Pull your community. Get ideas from your community. Talk to your community, because there are people within every community that have great ideas, just might not have the platform to share. So give them a space to share that. Give them a channel for ideas, and just spitball off each other, because they do grow into something. That's how the Elite Burn started, was just a small idea from one of us, but then it grew into this bigger thing that ended up being great for the entire project. So ideas and community, it should go hand in hand. I want to give a quick shout out, and I'm going to pin something at the top real quick. We have a community member named George Supernova. He doesn't say much anywhere else in the Discord except the ideas channel, and he's always in there, and he's coming up with really cool stuff. Some stuff that we use, some stuff that we don't, but all is helpful and all is appreciated and all is welcome, because some of those ideas might lead into other ideas that we might use, or we might use his idea. But getting that culture of having conversations about the future of the project is a good thing. So I recommend all projects, just make sure you have a space for people to go and give you ideas and talk through it with each other, because at the end of the day, a project is all about its community. So you do want them to have some sort of say, or feel like they have a part in the future of the project, right? So even if it's just to get on the same page and talk some shit and have some fun, right? Like coming up with cool ideas, whether you use them or not, doesn't matter, but talk through ideas, man. Something might pop. And then last thing, Wild Bill, pin something to the top, man. Pin something to the top, please. We're all going to go show love to it. Make sure people know where to find you, where to find your stuff. Pin whatever tweet you need at the top, and we'll get after it. All right, I'm done.
And last thing before tossing Wild Bill, to give you some more time to do that, my man. If you aren't hearing a theme here, the theme is that you can't do this shit alone. Every single person that spoke about executing something leaned on more than just their team. They leaned on their community. They leaned on an additional marketplace. They leaned on outside support. So just keep that in mind, and it's okay to go outside of your circle that might be executing this and ask for some help. Who knows who's going to come to the rescue? And it sounds like Wild Bill also had some shit happen to him too. So, Wild Bill, anything else that you have to add on here for some closing thoughts? Because we do got to get ready to go to the next topic.
Yeah. Honestly, I think on the note of what you guys were just talking about, coins and stuff like that, there was a stress to try to understand those early, and coins are really big right now. But when we were looking at it, it was sort of like taboo. You know what I mean? To really make them or whatever, they just didn't seem to be feasible. And I want to give some props to VC and the VC token. They've managed to do really well with that, and they kind of set the example of how it can work. And I just wanted to reach out because EXO, you guys have brought up a topic that like you're asking questions about tokens and stuff like that. I wanted to let you know that me and Paulie in our project have been strongly leaning towards a collab with you guys, simply because your project fits our lore. We're going to be based on it, or going to move away, stuff like that. So we haven't really reached out to you guys yet, but if you are interested, we could combine projects and work with the token. We don't necessarily need or want a token, and like somebody like you guys suggested, like Minnow went with the VC token. We Web2 could do very much the same thing. So yeah, if you want to chat later and maybe come up with some ideas on how our project can burn some of your token and stuff like that, we're more than welcome. And
That
yeah,
sounds amazing, Bill. That sounds awesome. I'm getting my marketing boys on the idea generation machine as we speak. Let's get in the chat after this and get things going. I'd be honored.
yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah, I've been really impressed with your guys' stability and have been watching you guys since I came in. And your guys' floor stays pretty much the same. And you know, you have really high quality looking work. So yeah, it suits our needs. And I just wanted to let you know before we got out of here that we are thinking about you.
Damn right. This is what this shit is all about. Again, giving our teams a platform to come together, talk about some shit, shoot some ideas, and then actually execute upon them. And I know, some of the ideas that we've talked about over these last 8 months, maybe it feels like it hasn't come to fruition yet. Just know there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of people that are doing this work, those heads down devs, those individuals that are working on building these business plans, that are talking to people that are part of some bigger global communities or networks to try and make introductions and make things happen. There's a lot of fun things that I think that are coming because of shit like that you just saw. People coming together, having conversations, asking some questions, seeing what we can do. So this is why I love doing this. Wild Bill, thank you for joining us up here and chatting about this. Can we get some hearts in the chat for Wild Bill for coming up, sharing his story, talking a little bit with the MVA team, with the Mino Mob team about some awesome stuff with the value of burning and what this means for Web3. That was a lot of fun, guys. Any final thing? Go ahead. I was going to say, any final things from any of our speakers here before moving to the next topic?
I just wanted to say thank you all, and yeah, you'll see more of me. I sort of basically ran into an issue, just so everybody in the community knows. I live at really remote. I live in the bush, up 700 kilometers up the logging road, kind of thing. So I have no cell service. I basically run off of satellite dish internet. The provider I have been using is basically being pushed out of business by Starlink. And I just managed to get my Starlink the other day, and you'll be seeing more of me. So, now I can actually communicate without being rugged and stomping all over people, and I can hear y'all. So, yeah, expect more from me.
Hell yeah, we are looking forward to more Wild Bill, man. I love to hear somebody else using Starlink too. It's honestly, it's kind of something I'm hearing a lot more. I like to live by the rule of threes before it becomes real, where you got to hear it from three random people before it maybe is something that's really out there. Seeing a lot of people that I know are finally using Starlink and seeing a lot of success. So just a cool side note.
I'm literally in the middle of the bush, like no joke. I am so far away from everybody, it's not even funny. And I'm pulling 250 megs steady.
Jeez. Yeah, no, that's pretty damn impressive. I mean, Wild Bill, sounds like we're going to see a lot more of you with that type of reception, man. So I'm looking forward to it. Mino, I see your hand is raised. Any final thoughts here? And of course, any ready to move on to the next section, collaboration with the foundation.
Sure thing. I just want to say it's been great to be up here. It's a great dialogue, hearing from Sig's opinion as well about burn events and kind of Wild Bill coming up. And just, I love the VFAM, man. I love this collaboration and seeing, fruits grow from just these kind of spaces. So flowers to you as well, Connor, for doing this and keeping it up. I'm excited to be here for the next one. I'm going to drop down as a listener because it's getting late over here in the UK, but I really appreciate the space. And yeah, thanks everybody.
Can we get some hearts and applause in the chat for Mino Mobs joining us here? And of course, Sig Toshi, one of our co-hosts, leading us through another section. That was a lot of fun. I hope you learned a lot. Projects, excited what you do with that as we continue to evolve here as an ecosystem. But of course, that ecosystem's got to build on a powerful foundation. And that foundation is quite literally the Vechain Foundation here up here. And we're going to talk to them about some of the things that they're working on in real life with some in-person events, with some large enterprise adoption. And we're going to have Satoshi lead us through this next section here, talking about some in-person event opportunities going on that the community can tap into, but also that the Vechain Foundation has been tapping into actively over these last few weeks. So Sig, I'll hand it over to you to take the stage in another form. You get to ask questions now.
Yeah, I'll start by saying that we talked about it a little bit last week, but these in-person events where you can connect with communities and other blockchains and like-minded individuals, building in Web3 are super important. Now I think I I should know this, but Vechain, you were at the Consensus event in Texas, or you had a presence there. Is that correct?
That
You
is
want to tell us
correct.
a little bit about it?
Yeah, we hosted a booth of Census in the heart of a nice multi-chain collaborative environment. And yeah, had lots of fruitful discussions, lots of cross-chain symbioses coming along. Struck up some great connections that we're going to be utilizing in maybe next month or two. Maybe I think we'll get onto that in a later item. But yeah, obviously these kind of collaborative cross-chain environments are super beneficial for all parties because, as we all know, kind of the future is interoperable. So yeah, we were at Consensus. We were showcasing Forge, VWorld, and networking, meeting lots of very talented people, projects, etc. It was a great experience. I wasn't there personally, unfortunately, but the team were, and I had lots of great things.
Well, people by nature are curious, and people by nature want to help other people, and I think that's why these events are so great. Like, just speaking from experience alone, I think I mentioned it last week, but I do so many freaking Twitter spaces that it all just kind of blends together. But with
Oh,
Rare
you're so
Evo,
popular, Sig. So
with
popular.
Rare Evo, I helped them get in touch with the foundation, and they showed up and had a booth at the Hive event in Vegas and met some really cool people. They connected with a lot of people building on VeChain, and from that, they wanted to return the favor. So they invited me to go to their next event in Denver, and have a booth representing Mad V Apes and VeChain. Now, what's cool is, um, yes, I'm going to be there. Yes, I'm going to be at a Mad V8 booth, but I'm going to be representing VeChain. I'm going to be talking about VeChain and showing people the cool stuff that can be built on VeChain, and the tech that we have. And I think it's important just to kind of branch out into new ecosystems. You got to get out of the echo chamber, right? You got to show people. You never know who's holding a bag of vet, and they just don't know what's going on. So you got to keep getting out there and talking about it, and meeting people. So yeah, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's in August.
It is indeed. Well, I'm not sure if you're aware, but we will also be there, VeChain. We've obviously, thanks to your introduction, we've been speaking with the Rare Evo guys, so we're going to be there as well with an official kind of representation on top of your own, very professional representation and everything you do. So that's a great opportunity for us to kind of network. And actually, I might be there. So if anyone is there, you're welcome to come and meet me. I'll be on the VeChain booth, and he'll be next to Cardano, which is great. I'm going to be chewing their ears off all day.
Yes, perfect. We're gonna be reunited again, Jake. Let's go.
Yes.
So I heard this, but I don't think it was official yet. So I'm glad that you just
I
Oh,
was
made the
going to say, it
announcement here.
definitely wasn't. It
Yeah,
definitely
that's
wasn't.
great.
It
That's great.
definitely wasn't. Dropping the alpha. Let's go.
Well, there we go. Project Leaders exclusive. Yeah, VeChain will be at Rare Evo. Damn,
Love to
just
hear.
jumped the gun there. Now I'm thinking. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be an amazing opportunity and completely bang on the nose in terms of cross-chain collaboration is so important. And some of you may have noticed who's following our social media. We've been at a lot of events. We're meeting a lot of people right now, doing a lot of networking. And it's just so invaluable to meet different sections of the various kind of Web3 crowds, whether that's kind of community projects or this week we're at Blockchain Island Week and we're among institutions, central banks. We had Hester Pierce speaking at the same event that Antonio Senatore was at today. These kind of all these different kinds of networking events are just invaluable. And I know from the buzz after the event, a lot of people have been following up Antonio. Just they want to know more about our sustainability, the digitals, the kind of stuff we're doing at the moment. Getting out there and being among the people is just by far the most, one of the most effective ways to actually build connections and meaningful networks. I think the proof is in the pudding.
I think that's what it's all about is gaining more interest, and talking about it is the only way you can educate people and get them to the point where hey, I want to go find out more about this. I want to know what I can build, or I want to know more about what's being built over there. Seeing, these pictures of Onio, speaking here. I mean, this is the stuff we want to see. This is the stuff we should all be excited about because we know this is reaching more and more and more people, and that's what it's all about.
I mean, and I'm sure maybe you've seen, but obviously we're at the BC Expo. That's just another throwing out there. But this was 1,800 senior level people from the world's biggest companies coming to a technology expo, essentially hosted by BCG, and they're doing the same things. They're coming along. Okay, what's possible? What's feasible? Who are the tech providers? And Vechain's there as the only blockchain solution for that BCG is presenting for like sustainability, ESG. That kind of stuff is so influential, and having a presence is key. And totally agree with the sentiment.
Couldn't agree more. Connor, you got a question or something to add?
I was going to say we got to dive deeper into that one because that's something that I personally believe is crazy, crazy exciting. Is there anything that we can hear about yet, or any kind of murmurs about anything that might be happening? Just because that's the type of stuff that BCG is bringing to VeChain. Why is BCG important? They have the executive suite of basically every major company in the world, and they can get VeChain in there. It's pretty exciting.
Absolutely. I mean, nothing I could comment on officially, unfortunately, at this point. But of course, lots of conversations we had. We had Sunny, the foundation ops manager, Sarah, and about all networking, doing their things, presenting. I don't know if anyone caught it we put out, but showed off our booth. Some nice promotional videos that we'll be kind of sharing that BCG actually produced for us, to showcase VeChain technology, kind of marketing materials around blockchain and our technologies. They're very keen to take the kind of the next steps in this journey towards sustainability, which has to leverage trust and transparency. And blockchain is that layer, and of course VeChain is that medium. So I mean, it's a very exciting kind of tailwind we've got behind us right now, but I can't comment on any official level, of course. But I mean, just to be amongst that kind of environment, of course, is highly beneficial for visibility and for VeChain's kind of precedence as a serious technology provider for this new kind of digital epoch that we're moving into that's powered by blockchain.
Wow, bullish, super bullish on that, and I love that you guys are going. I don't know, you guys are everywhere right now, and that's great. We should all be excited about that. Just continue making connections and spreading the word about the power of VeChain. So it's really exciting stuff. Connor, Ferg, you guys have any questions? I see Wild Bill has his hand up. Do you have a question for VeChain?
I got one thing, but before tossing to Wild Bill, and then we've got a new speaker that will have ask their question as well. You said you're going to be at Rare Evo. We know Cardano's going to be there. You're going to be next to him. Charles is a damn speaker. What are the odds that we're going to see a Charles Sunny showdown?
I would say showdown. How about a nice, gentle conversation about where we could maybe mutually align. I mean, I'm not going to get into any technicalities of the networks, but there's differences, and I'm sure there could be a lot of discussions to be had. But I'll leave it.
I had to ask. I mean, he came out of Sig Space and he called VeChain a side chain. So I'm excited for it, man. That is so awesome, and this is the shit that again is really getting people going. Just because we're seeing the adoption, we're seeing you guys walk this walk. So Wild Bill, let's toss it over to you. Of course, unless you have anything else to add there, VeChain.
No, I just a whimsical, add-on, look where the enterprises are pointing their attention. That's what I'm going to say. But next question. Well, Bill, welcome to the stage.
I just wanted to say thank you to VeChain as an artist first. I like the stability and the eco-friendliness of VeChain, and that's what attracted me to start working with VeChain. My question is, so a little preamble here real quick. I live in BC in Canada. I live above a hydrostatic dam that provides electricity for most of North America. My question to you guys is, have you guys looked into BC for power source and sustainable VeChain power usage by chance?
At this point, no, to be honest. I mean, I'm not aware of anything, but that's not to say if a project or company was to approach VeChain, it couldn't be done the other way. Of course, obviously disruption-wise, there's so much going on globally. It's like hard to pinpoint. At this point, you're kind of leveraging the, I guess, white label approach or the channel partners approach, where the BCGs, DMVs, PwCs of the world go to their clients. We work with them as tech providers, and then the solutions come that way. But
right.
Of course, there's if you have propositions or of companies, I mean, by all means, put them in touch. And
we do. Our First Nation community here just hosted a company, like corporations, to come in and look at sustainable use for our territory. So some of the companies that came were 3M, 3M is going to be doing work with us. We also have crypto companies coming in to do mining and stuff like that via the hydrostatic dam. We also had Nestle looking at water rights and things like that. So, we really are at the spearhead of some of the availability. So, it may be something that you guys may be interested in. I just thought I'd suggest it.
No, 100%. I mean, it sounds very promising. It sounds like quite a pioneering kind of region. Are you near Vancouver at all? Sorry, my geography of Canada is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, we're above Vancouver. We're basically directly north of Prince George, so central BC.
Okay, well, you can shoot me a DM if you want after this. I know there's a UFC event coming up. Maybe we could get you along and we can kind of network and talk there.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
All right.
I will add you, and we can chat later.
Yeah. Shoot this account a DM, and I'll put you in touch.
Wild Bill making some moves on this space. I love to hear that stuff. That was very exciting. I know that kind of replicates something that I did, I feel like a few months ago when somebody came up trying to introduce Vechain Foundation to, an import-export kind of shipping company in the south of Africa. That type of things, absolutely welcome on this space. We have a whole community portion that we'll get to. If you feel like it doesn't fit into any of our agenda topics that you can ask. But that shit I love to see. So shout out Wild Bill. That was really cool. But Sig, anything that you have to add on to that before we toss it over to Mr. Waco?
We can go to Mr. Wacko first, and then I'll finish up the second.
I was going to say, you got to correct me. Waco, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's all good. It's Mr. Wacko. It's Mr. Wacko. Wow, I'm a bit overwhelmed by the previous question, so I feel a bit stupid right now. But I'm a long-time Vechain fan, OG X-Note holder. I met Sonny in Germany, and I'm gonna see Vechain people again in Amsterdam, the 14th of June. So I'm really looking forward to that. 2 months ago, I dove into a rabbit hole called NFTs. And yeah, as you can see, I have an NFT as my profile picture now, which I've grown pretty attached to. But I cannot transfer it to my Vechain wallet. Maybe this is technically impossible, and maybe I sound really stupid. I'm just a degen, just doing my thing. But is it possible in the future, or maybe it's just impossible to transfer my NFTs to my Vechain wallet? Because it's ERC20, I think, because it's like Ethereum based. But that would be
not a stupid question at all. Actually, a company with the Vechain ecosystem quite literally created a solution because of this. So 100% need to go check out Safe Haven if you haven't checked them out. They're somebody that can definitely support you with this, with their solutions that they're providing. They have an atomic swap platform that can help facilitate that. So check it out. I'm sure that other people have any additional thoughts they can add to this as well, but definitely not a stupid question.
Yeah, never a stupid question in crypto. We're all getting used to it at the end of the day. But I know also there's XP Network, who is another kind of NFT bridge platform that operates on Vechain and many other networks. Also, obviously in the future, now we've got Vorge. All these NFTs, tokens, etc., that are created through Vorge are to oh my god, well, my brain's going, guys. It's late in England. ERC20 standard. So yeah, the cross-chain bridging, that's going to be a feature that Vechain are also building out in the future. So there will be multiple pathways, but right now you've got Safe Haven, XP Network, and then there will be kind of bridges built by the foundation as well in the future. So there are options, and there will be more options.
Yeah, and we actually had a space with XP Network, and shout out Data. Yeah, you were absolutely right. It's XP Network, not Safe Haven. But XP Network had a space with us talking exactly about this, I believe like February. So if you want to go check that out, make sure to go check out Vet Mike's YouTube or even scroll back our feed and hear what they've been doing, how they've been helping projects and people do that. So yeah, it's a need. People are looking for it. And if you want to bring it home to Vechain, that's how you got to do it.
All right.
Satoshi, anything to add there?
I guess not. Oh, yeah.
No, I was just going to say, I appreciate you coming up, Mr. Wacko. And I've actually done it. Okay. I've done it. I've bridged actually a Vechain NFT to Ethereum and then from Ethereum back to Vechain. So it is doable. XP Network might have to whitelist that collection in order to do that, but it's definitely possible. And we can get you in touch with those people. Let's bring that baby over to Vechain. Let's do it.
And also, side note, but yeah, the Dutch Blockchain Week, there's going to be a great one for the agenda in general. Like, we've always had such a massive following in in Holland, and there will be members of the team there. I'm sure you'll have plenty of opportunity to ask lots of questions to a lot of the core team.
Yeah, for
FYI.
anyone who ever wants to join those things, it's very open. Like I got a chance to speak to Sonny Lou, and like it's just it's amazing. The team is very nice, and I would really recommend going to one of these. But yeah, thanks for the time, guys. I will jump back down so there's room for other people.
Take care, man. Nice to meet you.
Take care, and looking forward to the update on that. Definitely let us know when that bridge is over to Vechain.
So, real quick, jumping back to Rare Evo, Jake, I don't know if you heard, but I think Wob and Sappy Seals are going to be in attendance as well, possibly. So Charles, Sonny, me, Wob, I don't know. It's happening.
I can do fireworks, but good fireworks, like nice fireworks.
Good fireworks. Yes. But for anyone who does want to learn more about the Rare Evo event, they are going to be on my weekly Twitter space tomorrow at 5 p.m. CST. They're going to tell us a little bit about the event, the speakers, the parties that, throughout the weekend, everything like that. If you are interested in going, if you're going to be in, the Colorado, Denver area and you want to go, use code, MBA 10, I believe. Use code MBA 10. You get a 10% discount. All right. But it'll be fun, and you'll meet some really cool new people. I may or may not be speaking at the event. Hopefully not, but maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it'll be fun, and you'll meet some people from the foundation as well. So let me know if you are going, and we'll link up.
Where aren't you speaking, Sig? I feel like you're everywhere right now, man. It's kind of awesome. I mean, again, you were giving me a shout out earlier. Going back to a point that's been made on this space 100 times, quoting, Bread, sending missionaries, not mercenaries. Dude, you are like the leader of the fucking missionaries right now, going and recruiting people and making sure they're aware of Vechain. It's pretty awesome to see. So shout out to you, man. I feel like you don't get enough love for that something. It's pretty awesome to see. But let's keep stuff going here. Any final thoughts here on this topic before we get ready to move over to tennis and fidgetals?
No, just looking forward to it. Rare Evo might have accidentally spoke out of line, but it'd be great to meet any community members that are there and beyond. Of course, I'll be hopefully bringing some more people along for the journey.
Damn right. Sig, any final thoughts that you have here before we get ready to go over to our final section?
No, I think we summed it up. Again, if you are going to go, let me know, and we'll link up. It'll be a fun time.
Well, perhaps if we're moving on to our final segment, then on the notion of events, maybe I can plug something that we've got upcoming, actually, which is Jacksonville, Florida. There's a UFC fight night coming up. And Connor, sorry, am I speaking out of agenda here? Let me know.
No, you are perfect. I was going to say, I was hoping you were going to bring it up.
Okay, good. So a new initiative from the foundation, and something that will be built on and upwards in the coming months and whatnot. We're kicking off a series of technology workshops. So the first one will be in Jacksonville, Florida, and I believe it's June 24th to 25th. Essentially, it's an open invite. If you're a developer and you're in the area or you're able to get there, come along. It'll be a 2-day workshop, around 3 hours per session, and ultimately there will be leaders from the tech team there, educating about the tools, resources, and whatnot. And on the back of it, it would be kind of a brainstorm sesh. And the ultimate outcome is to, kind of devise, I guess, decentralized applications, things that people might want to build. But what Vechain will be providing on the back of that, anyone who attends will be eligible for a micro kickoff grant. That's what we're dubbing this now. Not the most catchiest name, but we'll work on it. But in essence, if you turn up and you meet the team and you're brainstorming and you kind of have a centralized app you want to build, whether it's sustainability or something else, Vechain will help kind of give you a bit of a startup fund for that. So this lends into a larger kind of scheme where we're looking to support ecosystem developers with smaller scale grants, because obviously Vechain has grants right now, but they're a bit, they are more project. I mean, the requirements are a bit more, I don't want to say high tier, but there's a bit more of a, I don't know, there's more stringent requirements, let's say that. So this is more to support developers who are interested and want to get started and are curious and have ideas and capabilities. And it's essentially a kind of scheme designed to support builders within the ecosystem to get started and actually flesh out their ideas. So yeah, it's a kind of alternate grant scheme that we're kind of introducing, and this will lend into a larger kind of reformation of the grant program that will come over time. But Jacksonville won't be the last. I know that there's going to be multiple events planned, Europe, Asia, and the US. So just want to stick that out there now. So anyone who's in the Florida area who may be interested in that, please check out our pinned tweet on the Vechain Foundation account. There's a link within the article, and you can just sign up there, and it's free to attend, free to turn up. And like I say, you'll meet the leaders of the dev team, and they will educate you, give you a whole smorgasbord of information, and hopefully get you started building decentralized applications on Vechain 4. I had a follow-on point. It's just flown out my mind. So I'll leave it there, and it'll probably come back to me in a minute. But yeah, just wanted to make sure that was known. Oh, that's it. So this is being done on the back of a UFC Fight Night event as well. So basically, you turn up, you've got 2 days, education, you can get grants on the back of it, and then there will be a kind of UFC event, VFAM community social, all that stuff. So we're making a nice kind of package of education, kicking off what you may want to build, with financial support, and also just a nice social to round it off. So it should be a great, 2 days. So anyone who's curious, please head to the Vechain Foundation, pinned tweet, check out the article, links in there, sign up, and the team will be able to take on any kind of applications through that.
We love some UFC alongside some developers. That's going to be a hell of a combo. I'm always looking forward. I'm always looking forward to these events, man. It's awesome to see. For anybody in Jacksonville, I am super envious of all of you. I hope you make your way there, share a lot of pictures so we can experience the FOMO like we did in the Hive. Even though it was brutal to go through, I did love to see it. So love to see these events happening. Anything else that you have to add there, Jake, before talking about some other events that you just came from with the team, man? I'm pumped to hear what happened.
Which immediately? Which event?
Tennis. Let's talk a little bit about the Phygital update.
Ooh, nice transition. So yeah, I mean, some of you might have seen we were at I say the official name, Internazionale Biennale d'Italia, but it's the ATP Masters 1000, which we can't say officially. I should probably have said that. I'm gonna. All right, moving on. It's cut. Right, we'll cut that bit out. But in essence, so this wasn't, you mentioned earlier, it was a new partnership. So actually, it's part of a multi-year partnership, which was forged with the ATP back in November of 2022. So some of you may remember we did an event, an activation. Obviously, it was largely marketing focused. This time around, we did a technical integration with the Biennale d'Italia. And there was, for the first time in the history of finals trophies, there was an NFT/NFC in. So we created a Phygital finals trophy. What that means, to anyone who's not aware, is the combination of physical plus digital. So by assigning a physical item an NFT and assigning that NFT to an NFC, which is a near-field communications chip, it's essentially something you scan with your smartphone. You create this kind of digital twin of a physical item. So you can create kind of experiences, you can kind of, a product through this digital counterpart, essentially. So yeah, this is what we've just done with the Biennale d'Italia. Oh God, it's such a shame I can't remember the winners' names now. That's a travesty. I'm very sorry, everyone. But we've had world-class tennis superstars essentially with our trophies in hands, obviously working on some content there around that stuff, pending approval and whatnot. But other than that, we had a large activation where we essentially had a booth. People could come along, they could digitalize their goods, and whatever they wanted. You could essentially just attach a sticker, create an NFT of it, and create these kind of phygital items. The main purpose of this, of course, was to showcase the viability of the technology, right? The ease, the cost efficacy. It's very cheap, it's very able, and this was a great opportunity for Vechain to kind of showcase that technology on the global stage. Of course, it's still a marketing component. The finals trophy realistically is not going to be recreated because it's in a famous celebrity's house. It's not going to be stolen. But point being, for brands and businesses that were looking on, it's a showcase of the viability of the technology. And it was a really amazing opportunity to showcase blockchain for these kind of novel use cases, because obviously we've heard about kind of collabs between big brands and certain blockchains in these kind of NFT applications, but this is taking it a step further. It's the integration of hardware, which can then become a kind of viable add-on for products. And for example, Vechain's worked for a long time now with Givenchy. That's a well-known fact, I'm assuming, but if not, Vechain's worked with Givenchy for many years now, and they, for instance, they digitalize their made-for-leather goods through this application of NFC plus NFT, and there's a lot of value add for brands, right? You might buy a $1,000 handbag and you wish to sell that on. Well, how can this buyer kind of verify it's legitimate? How can you, as the seller, demonstrate it's legitimate? These are the questions that come into the secondary market. So, it's a really valuable showcase of kind of the value add of these kinds of technologies and the viability of these technologies for brands for many, many kinds of purposes. I cite luxury because it's a high value good, but of course, there's many other kinds of brand. I mean, there's it could spread into many kinds of product, but in essence, a phenomenal marketing opportunity to show off that Vechain is doing real world blockchain. I mean, that's what the ethos of Vechain has always been. But a really, really great technical integration, and also a value add, hopefully, for the kind of community perception of why we do these partnerships. Similar thing with the UFC. There's these kinds of integrations are in discussion. It's not, it's about showcasing the tech. It's not necessarily just about saying the name Vechain. That's a slightly waffly answer, Connor. Maybe you can direct me back to a more.
No, I love this just because, again, I feel like we're still trying to grasp how important this really is and what this means. And I think, one of the core levels, we're proving out use cases. We're getting in the room with these giant companies through Boston Consulting Group. You think they're going to say, we want to be the first ones to do this and take the risk, at these Fortune 100, Fortune 10 level entities? It's tough to do that. To say that we've already done this at scale, and here's an example, and here's another example, and here's another example, is what's getting people's attention. And so I'm curious, Jake, is there any reactions that you've already been getting from sharing this use case, talking about this, from other parties or, just the general community?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't name names for sure. You can understand why. But I can tell you, I had some parties reach out recently, and all of a sudden, Vechain's on their radar, and these are very reputable, well-known individuals, very well connected across crypto, finance, institutions, blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, we're having conversations, and they're, we're through the kind of work it's been doing, and it was just like a mind-blowing moment for them. Like, whoa, I didn't know that. I didn't know blockchain was being used for that. And there's some very interesting kind of conversations going on right now from very well connected people that want to take these conversations a level up and really banging the drum on okay, this is real world. Blockchain stepping outside of the abstract and actually kind of, entering the market as a viable tool and technology. And I should probably leave it there. But, I had a conversation just yesterday, basically on that. I'm waiting for proposals. I mean, it was, very, very promising stuff. So these applications and these demonstrations go a very long way because, again, it's almost like networking, but the visual, right? You can do as much marketing, but if people see, hear, or interact directly, is so much more powerful than because everyone's fighting for space on the internet. So these kinds of activations are immensely beneficial for the Vechain brand and for the kind of applications that are being developed. So I can say yes, absolutely, but I can't name names.
Of course, can't name names, but I guess, is there potentially a type of entity or an industry that you're starting to see more traction in because of these use cases? Obviously you're going to see the financial services industry, be a giant adopter of Web3, some core manufacturing providers. But is there anybody that maybe you weren't expecting to see that is starting to show up in a little bit of volume because of new use cases showing up, like this tennis partnership, like what you're doing with the UFC, and all these other mini ones that are being created alongside of it? Just curious.
I mean, God, it's hard to say. There's so many industries that can apply fidget tools, whether it's to, for instance, let's say perfumes, a conversation there, about let's tell the consumer a story, or, there's so much kind of room for application here that it's very broad. I really don't want to get down too specific tracks here. But
no, of course, not trying to do that. It was more actually a comment from one of our community members. Looks like it's Jim. Was asking kind of if there's in industry that we're seeing the most potential, and trying to kind of tie it into this use case that is now getting that attention of industry, saying there's something here to take a look at. So
Yeah,
no, all makes sense.
no, I think initially high value goods are one of the most viable markets and one of the ones that are expressing most interest. I know of certain luxury houses that are exploring the technology for this exact kind of use case I described before, where it's utilizing NFT provenance, authenticity, to demonstrate first at the point of sale, okay, legitimate product. Then, as the owner, you own the NFT. You've got this valuable item. You own the NFT. You're the owner. Secondary resale markets, you are able to transfer ownership of the NFT whilst guaranteeing provenance to the buyer. And then the buyer obviously is able to buy that product with assurance, but also it preserves the value of the product in the secondary market because it's demonstrably legitimate. So, for high value products, I'd say that's one of the most immediately beneficial markets. Also, that kind of clientele, I guess you could say, were particularly engaged, brand stories, KOLs, social media. You can then tie in all these digital experiences to that, which comes on the back of this kind of digital kind of twin scenario. So I would say immediately, definitely the high value commodity market is one of the most interested naturally, because they want to preserve that value and demonstrate legitimacy because there's so much fraud, it's so rife. So yeah, there's definitely luxury product brands out there that I can't name, but yes, that have expressed interest.
So awesome. I'm excited to see some of these conversations continue to evolve. And I know that I've been hogging again the questions here for this topic, so I'll open it up to the floor. Is there anybody else that wants to jump in here, has a question for Vechain? I see World of V joined us. Would love to hear some of your experiences being part of this as well. But anybody have anything to add here?
Yeah, I should actually just add a huge shout out to World of V because they were the backbone of this visual integration. So actually, I completely missed that mention there. So shout out to the World of V team. You guys crushed it. They were actually I believe they were kind of providing the NFC, IoT, NFT integration aspect. So they've done a phenomenal job there. And I was actually working closely with them throughout the campaign on the social media stuff. So just want to give a shout out. Great job, guys.
Thank you. Good evening,
World of
everyone,
V team,
guys.
welcome to the stage. Good evening. I know it's late over by
Yeah,
your neck of the woods,
it is late, but I'm
but how are
enjoying
we
the
feeling?
space. Oh man, it's good. Yeah, I mean, it's great. Whatever Jake said, it's true. It's actually bringing us a very good visibility, and once you start working with the UFC and then with Internazionale d'Italia, things change. Actually, it's funny because I have some cool stories also about UFC, because like when we were at the stand at the booth, I think BRT was wearing, I know he had the backpack with the UFC, and then there were fans of UFC that would recognize it, and then they would be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe Vechain is partnering with the UFC," which is cool, to see some Italians be that deep into UFC. In any case, the activation was amazing, guys. Like, really, we had a great time. It was tough. The team was there for like over 2 weeks, like 17 days in total. There was a lot of work involved. The wall activation was huge, but we're very happy with the numbers. We onboarded 9,000 new wallets. 5,000, about 5,000 were from the location. So that's completely new people. Never, had a wallet, never had crypto or anything. They were super intrigued with the NFTs and so on. That was fun, just to make people see what Vechain is capable of, because some people, they really don't know, what's happening here. Honestly, as I was saying, I don't know, the digitals are great technology, and a lot of people are intrigued by it. So I believe we're gonna see some cool surprises really, really soon. So yeah, that's all I can say for now. It won't be long, so you guys don't have to wait. But it's good, guys. Vechain is doing great things. You've been talking about this. They're everywhere. I lost count. I can't track them anymore. Like, they're really everywhere, and they are moving in, many different ways, which is just amazing. This is something new for, and it's nice to see this. But also, I believe it's bringing great results, things that we're working on now. We might see it happening in a few months, some before, some later, but things are moving in the right direction. That's all I can say.
And just a little bolt on, obviously, you guys were manning the booth at Vechain. They were kind of digitalizing products live, which I touched on earlier. And you even had some of the kind of tennis stars come and visit the booth, do some kind of social media, and also, digitalize their own products. If I'm not overstepping there, America. Oh God, I've forgotten the name. That is terrible.
Alexander Mueller.
Oh, Alexander Mueller. Yeah, I meant Flavia Panetta. I remember Alexander.
Oh,
wow. He's been great, but Flavia Panetta, obviously, she was a big part of last event. Very famous kind of tennis star. They were digitalizing products, and again, it's just showcasing that ease and the viability. And what I think this event really showcased was that we're moving out of this epoch of the abstract to the tangible. Vechain is a blockchain with hardware solutions that are able to kind of be integrated on the fly, on demand, and that's so powerful. And maybe, I'm blindsided by my own role, but I'm just not really seeing that right now. And that's what a lot of companies are looking at and seeing as well. And, on the back of Blockchain Island, I know we've had a lot of interest on the back of that. It's like, these are institution level, systemically important people from Europe and even the US, and they're like, oh my God, this exists. It was this revelatory moment. So I think it's a great opportunity to showcase, and we're just getting ever closer to that. Sonny's catchphrase, slowly then all at once. Well, that's not Sonny's catchphrase. That's a famous catchphrase, but he quoted it, and that stuck with me, obviously, hence why I've just cited his name. But I really feel like Vechain's reaching that kind of tipping point. Now, of course, I work for Vechain, so I might sound biased here, but I'm just seeing the momentum really pick up, and this global regulatory climate that's moving towards it. There's the regulatory framework, is falling into place. I just think, we're in a really great spot as a platform, and it's just very exciting to be part of it. And obviously, the community by extension, everything everyone's doing here, it's like this blockchain is probably going to be one of the major ones of the future. I just think, what an exciting part to be playing. This is like dot-com bubble 2.0 almost, right? We've seen all this stuff emerge out of the ether and will be gone in years to come. Certain platforms will thrive, and I like to think Vechain will be one of those major players.
Very, very good point. In any case, guys, I just want to mention this. Then I will go. I will let you do your thing. Regarding Alexander Mueller, this kid is a top 100 tennis player. He shows up at the booth and he goes like, "Oh, Vechain, I have some Vechain." He pulls off his wallet and he shows us his wallet. And we're like, oh, cool, but there is no need for you to, to show us your bank. And he was like, so guys, what you do, what don't you do? We showed him the digitals, he loved it. And then after he came back, he brought one of the shirts he was playing with. We minted the shirt within 2 minutes as a digital. And then what was even more amazing, I didn't tell him anything. He signed the shirt and then he puts hashtag VFAM. I was like, what? Are you serious? That was amazing, I mean, like, it doesn't happen every day that you see a top player recognize, our Vechain and basically be so passionate about it. I don't know if you saw, but he was wearing a branded shirt with the Vechain logo. So I believe this guy would be a good supporter of ours, Give him a follow. He's super cool. He's a very young kid. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time.
That is awesome. I did not know that. And I think it speaks volumes, World of E, that he came back. Not only was the first time like, oh, this is really cool, having a discussion, but so intrigued that you came back and minted a damn digital. That is awesome. That is so, so awesome. So I have to give you tons of props for that. Shout out for supporting that global event, and bringing all of these people together under the VFAM, creating 5,000 wallets. My challenge to you and Vechain Foundation is track those wallets. Let's see how many people actually become active. Start to say like, hey, we created 5,000 wallets and converted X amount. What do we need to do to improve the next event? Convert more wallets, bring more people back, or engage some of those ones that maybe aren't active yet. That's my challenge that I throw back to you all to make sure that we can get the most out of these types of events, creating these new wallets and turning them into active people in this community. Exoworlds, anything to add on there before I toss it over to Foundation?
Yeah, I actually wanted to point something towards the foundation. What we have found in trying to grow our community, going cross chain, we're using this awesome kind of like Web2 onboarding solution for people who don't really know crypto. They sign up with their email, a wallet gets created for them. Their private keys are kind of I'm not sure about the custody details, but anyways, it gives Web2 users this instant access to this instant wallet that they don't have to really manage. It would be incredible for Vechain to have the same thing, not only for projects like mine, but even for in real life events. They sign up with their email and boom, they got their entire ticket into the ecosystem without even really knowing it. They don't even need to know the words Web3. So anyways, I know there's this conference, this really awesome event in Jacksonville. I'm going, by the way. I think it'd be amazing if this, I don't know if you can do it through Forge, so maybe we have a third party, but I think this is a really worthy idea for us to have Web2 onboarding for VeChain. Binance has it, and it could be amazing for our network.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of it. What I would recommend is we've got obviously our Discord channel. There's a bunch of foundation devs in there now, and they are like all ears. I'm in the Slack for the foundation, and they're looking at all kinds of tools from across various blockchains. So I would say go to Slack and go in the developer channels and just kind of share your ideas, because there are foundation devs in there and they're eager to learn. I mean, we've got a lot of the teams going fast, and they're all for building kind of the most applicable tools that will kind of enhance the user experience. So yeah, definitely go to Discord and share those ideas. That'd be my recommendation there.
And that's a world. I know we lost you for a second, but did you get most of that? Any questions,
I
comments?
did everything I say come through. I lost it in the beginning of that. I'm certain, Jake, that VeChain team is doing everything they can to push through the best tools. So anyways, if they haven't talked about this, my little opportunity to chime in from the community, that sounds awesome, man. I really can't wait to go to the Jacksonville event. I'm trying to bring myself and a small business over to learn more about Forge. So I'm very excited.
Well, if you missed the start, sorry, my direction was to go to the Discord channel, because we've a lot of the Discord a lot of the foundation devs are now in there, and they are listening and they're taking ideas and working with community members. So if you've got suggestions, by all means, put it to them directly, because those are the guys that will take it in and have those discussions.
Amazing, man. Thank you for directing me.
No worries. Good ideas, as always.
It looks like World of V, you had your hand raised, and then we will get ready to move to our final section, which is questions from the community. And I see we do have a comment in the chat to kick it off, but feel free to add on World of V and anybody else as we get ready to close this up. World of V, we might have lost.
Hey guys,
hey,
sorry.
Somebody else had to go. Oh, there we go. We got you back.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to
World of
say.
V, any final thoughts here?
No, I just wanted to connect to what Exo said. That's that's actually a solution that we use at World of V. That's what we use at internationally, because it's a straightforward way for people to basically connect with their social media, email, and create a wallet, which made it possible to onboard so many people, because only from the location we onboarded 5,000. And in 90 seconds, they would basically create a wallet and claim the NFT. And these kind of things, without the help of the Web2 solutions, won't be possible. I know Vechain is already looking at that, but yeah, that's a very good suggestion. I actually suggest everyone here to have a look at it, because it's a game changer. If you want to onboard non-crypto native people, they just sign up with Google or with Facebook or with their email, and that's it. It's done. They have a wallet. They can interact. They can start buying cryptos. So yeah, very good suggestion.
That. Well, hey team, any final thoughts here on this? It looks like we've got Jordan Sowers here before we go to the final portion here.
I just wanted to second that how amazing of a feature that is to be able to just send people to a site. I mean, it could be as simple as just printing out a QR code and just having people scan it. I mean, Stoner Punks, for example, is using it to get involved in a convention type event. I can't get any details right now. It's just such an easy way to onboard people. It would be wonderful if we had some sort of official Vechain Foundation link, even, or something like that.
I'll make sure the team hits it. Don't worry.
Well, hey, VFam, let's go to the final portion here, and let's get ready to answer some communities. Obviously, the first one I mentioned a little earlier was coming from Jim, and it looks like we've got another one here. And by the way, for this portion, anybody feel free to raise your hand, come up, ask a question. We are a little bit over time, but I think it was a great discussion, and we'll wrap up with closing thoughts if we don't hear too much. But I've got a question for the foundation from It's Jim 25. Can VChain work with fractional NFTs?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why it couldn't. I mean, in essence, it just needs the right smart contracts, right? If I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, there's no reason why that couldn't be done. It's just a case of it being built.
Well, Jim, whatever idea is brewing in the background, man, you got your answer. And if you want to elaborate, feel free to come up, and we'll have you ask any further questions about it. And then the other one, shocker. Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't gotten this more. RS Go VChain ordinals when Coinbase.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean, never say never. Am I right?
And we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. I hope you're satisfied, RS Go. But no, that is fantastic. And I guess, anybody here, any final thoughts from you all? It doesn't look like we have too many in the comments right now. I know we were answering a couple as they were going. And then we do have some final things that we'll wrap up with, shouting out some things that are happening here within VChain, as well as any, final questions. So anybody have closing thoughts here? Otherwise, we'll go around the horn.
I mean, maybe I'll kick it off. Yeah, just, it's great to have these spaces to just interact and also share updates. Oh, Jordan's out with the down thumb. Jordan. No, I'm joking. I think it's so valuable because what this highlights is even when we do share the media, it's not necessarily seen. So I think it's really valuable to have an opportunity to also talk with people and, share these things again and, make sure kind of the news is getting out. And obviously people will listen to this afterwards and obviously take in this information. It's a really valuable platform. So Connor, thank you very much for putting these together. Just want to say that. And, great to be amongst everyone and be able to share things from the VChain perspective, because I think it is important and people want updates and people deserve updates. So yeah, very happy to be among you all, and I'm very grateful for Connor and Satoshi and Ferg, of course, for co-hosting, and all our excellent speakers, for putting these spaces together. So great job, guys.
It takes a whole VFam to make it happen. Well, hey, let's go around the horn. And let's hear some thoughts from some of our other speakers here. Satoshi, anything you want to add on there before we go kick it around? Saw you kick it off mute.
I was just gonna say it's Jake for squeezing us in there. Appreciate that. Win Coinbase, dude. Come on. No, it was a great space. As I encourage, for all the projects that are listening and didn't get a chance to speak, make sure to block out some time so you can come up and give us an update. Let us know what you're working on. Let us know if you're facing any hurdles or have questions or bouncing ideas, whatever. Let's make use of this space of project leaders getting together and talking about the entire ecosystem as a whole. We all need to continue working together. We're not done yet. Job are finished. Let's keep working together. Let's keep building together. Let's keep getting out there and spreading the word. There's some awesome stuff going on VChain right now, and it's up to us as the community as a whole to get out there and tell people about it and show people what's going on. So, for me, I appreciate everyone taking to be here with us. It was a really fun space. I think one of my favorite ones yet. So thank you to all the speakers, all the listeners. I appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your week. Much love, everybody.
Let's get some hearts in the chat for one of our co-hosts, Satoshi Nakamoto, man of many nicknames, and the man that's basically everywhere as our missionary, not mercenary of VChain. Thank you, Sig, for everything you're doing, man. Let's hand it over to Ferg. Ferg, any closing thoughts before we hand it over to our speakers?
I mean, not much. I'd say just keep the positivity. You know, we're in a bear market. We're seeing some bear market blues, but we're going to be here every month. There's spaces happening every week. And there's a lot of cool projects doing a lot of cool stuff. Sorry if you didn't hear the stuff. I'm on my walk jog right now, but yeah, just trying to keep the sentiment as high as possible, and just love somebody, love her.
Keep spreading that love. Well, let's hand it over to Exoworlds. Exoworlds, anything that you have to add here?
Yeah, guys, I'm loving this space. I will say this. I am really excited to get together with World of V and create some digital Exoworld products. It is coming. We are very focused on game.
Oh, did we lose him? Or is that just me?
I can't hear him either.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Exoworlds. Exoworlds, we lost you. We lost you. Can you hear us? Final call. All right, let's keep it going, and we'll bring you back, Exoworlds. Can you hear us?
Oh, am I back?
Yep. Yes, you're back now. We missed basically the whole thing.
Well, anyways, I can't wait to do Fidgetals with World of V. I'm super excited for their system, and anybody wants to do cross-marketing with us, hit us up. Our boys in marketing love to do cross-marketing. Bill, let's get some stuff happening, man. I'm all about lore. So you guys take care and spread the love.
Let's get some hearts in the chat for the Exoworlds team. They always come up here with some awesome updates, sharing what they're working on, and I'm incredibly thankful to have them here in the Vechain ecosystem doing what they're doing. Excited for the future. Keep kicking ass. Let's hand it over to Wild Bill, the new man with the Starlink on the stage. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me up. I really appreciate it. I love everything I'm hearing in the space today, and I'm all over branding. So it's really nice to hear that VChain is really working hard to get in with some of these top-notch brands, and get us exposure. That's one thing I definitely am all about. And let's go. One thing I will say is one of the major attractions for me on VeChain is the fact that it is stable. Like other blockchains, they have a tendency to run rickshaw. Like when things go up and down and up and down and up and down too much, it kind of pushes big companies and people who are looking for a stability. When they see market prices going up and then all the way down and up and down, they're not attracted to that. And that's what brought me to VeChain in the first place. Is for my art, I want stability. I want the value and the prices to remain sort of the same and not go super skyrocketing. I don't want people to feel like they can't get into my art. And so, this aspect of VeChain is really huge. And, sustainability means you need to be stable. So this is something, hats off to VeChain for creating such a stable platform and ecosystem for all of us artists to be able to create and be able to offer, real value to our customers. So that's just super awesome. And connecting big companies and giving us all exposure is massive. So hats off to you guys and keep it up.
Damn right. We'll hand it over to Jordan and then it looks like Data just joined before we go over some other topics here as we wrap up the space and talk about some other spaces that are happening here within the VFam. Jordan, anything else you got?
Yeah, thanks for letting me hang out. I too am really excited about the Fidgetals. It seems like almost week to week there are huge advancements being made in that. So I think that's going to be a real game changer for VeChain NFTs and VeChain in general. It's great to see so much building being done, even in a bear market. I'm really excited for the direction that the foundation is taking. I think it's going really well. And I think in the long run, some of these initiatives are going to pay off very, very well too. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad there's a positive sentiment right now in the community. I'm glad to see so many people showing up. Yeah, grateful to be here. Have a great week, everyone, or a great month, I suppose.
Damn right. And Jordan, you are incredible for constantly making time to come to these spaces as well. Huge shout out for everything you're contributing. Can we get some hearts in the chat for Jordan and Wild Bill as well for joining us here today? Before we hand it over to the person that helped kick this space off, talking about some shit. Data. Thanks for joining us, man. How we doing?
Disregard everything Wild Bill said. Vechain to the moon. Pump my bags.
And that sounds like Data and the creator of shits. Well, hey, guys, this was a lot of fun. Somehow, we are wrapping up on time again. We're trying to keep these around 2.5 hours. And so we covered a lot. We started, like I said, talking about the rise of meme coins, shit, and yeet. Yes, those are 2 meme coins here in VeChain. And it sounds like they are starting to build some cool stuff. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. We talked about the value of burning, and we had the Mino Mobs and MVA team lead an awesome discussion with Wild Bill here as well, talking about what that means for projects, some of the hardships, some of the challenges, some of the things that they overcame so that people hopefully don't have to replicate those same mistakes in the future if they try it. Then when talking about collaboration with the foundation, we had a lot of fun talking about in-person events, some great things happening here in the States. UFC continues to grow in more opportunities, and some dev events too. And then, of course, wrapping things up with the use cases, talk digitals and tennis. But hey, if you didn't get enough from this space, you'll want to dive deeper into something. There is a new community space that just got created by one of our community members that is happening later this week. Go check out the Chudnovsky space that is happening called the VeChain Community Town Hall. This is a space for anyone to come talk about any topic. Sure, we've got an agenda here. We're trying to keep things at a higher level. But hey, if we want to dive into something really deep, that's a space that you can go do it in. I'm looking forward to attending it. I know it's going to be a really community, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of project leaders here listening in the chat, learning from our people speaking, and hearing what we need to keep doing to improve. We've got to keep being critical of each other to keep moving forward, growing together, and building a healthy, strong environment within the VFam. So I'm looking forward to it. Make sure to go check that out. I know Sigtoshi just pinned it up there. But team, I can't thank you enough. This has been an incredible discussion. We are 8 spaces deep in the VeChain project leaders spaces, and we're coming up on a year. Feels crazy what we've accomplished, and I'm so excited for the future. Thank you all for another awesome discussion tonight. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, finish the month of May strong, and get ready for an awesome, awesome June to kick off the summer. Everybody, thank you so much for this evening. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you next month on the VeChain Project Leaders Space. Bye, everyone.